We're 1 week into NFL playoff action, and here on Keeping Score, we've been keeping you updated on how the games are going. I'm your host, Theodore Fernandez. Unfortunately, something called a snow day has stopped them from recording in person this week. I'm in Alabama right now. I don't know what that is. Only reason we skip school is when the football team loses the game. So, with that being said, I am going to fill in and I'm going to update you guys on what we picked last week and take a look at the upcoming matchup, starting with the wild card games from last week. We had Saturday afternoon matchup between the Browns and the Texans. We were all very, very high on Cleveland. M-Dog being the only one to correctly pick Houston. Joe Flacco, unfortunately, was not elite in that game. And the Texans pulled out the win behind really an incredible effort by C.J. Stroud. Moving on to Kansas City, a team that's kind of struggled this regular season. I picked them. M-Dog picked them. Candyman picked them. Can't say the same for Big Daddy and Wi-Fi, as Tua and the Miami offense just had no life in them. And Kansas City was able to pull out the win. The third and final AFC matchup. This brings me much joy to say. Buffalo all over Pittsburgh. You see, every actual analyst knew that Buffalo is going to win. Our producer, Mr. C, is delusional, thought that Mason Rudolph would go out and win a playoff game. That did not happen. Pittsburgh fell. On the NFC side of things, we are going to start in Dallas. How about them Cowboys? Me and M-Dog knew what was going to happen, you know? Giants fan bias coming in clutch. Jordan Love was incredible, and Green Bay pulled out the win. Wi-Fi, Candyman, and Big Daddy. Got to do better next time on that pick. Cowboys always disappoint in the playoffs. You should know that's coming. Speaking of disappointing in the playoffs, let's go to the Eagles. Baker Mayfield balled out. Jalen Hurts did not ball out. Nick Sirianni should be fired. He probably won't be. And Tampa pulled out the win again. It's this one's me and Big Daddy getting that game right. Final matchup. Save the best for last. That Rams versus Lions game was incredible. I thought LA would come out on top. I think there were some questionable no calls down the stretch. But me and M-Dog had the Rams. And, you know, shout out to Detroit. That was really a fun game. And the Lions are one of the most fun teams in the playoffs right now. Wi-Fi, Candyman, and Big Daddy were onto that. With that being said, let's take a look at our standings after one round. And I've said this before. I'm sure I'll say it again. They call me Team Money for a reason. 4-2 in first place. What is surprising, M-Dog tied with me for first place. This is the man who finished dead last in our picks last year. Talk about most improved player. That's been incredible. Wi-Fi, the rookie to the show, 2-4. That's rough. And Big Daddy and Candyman right in the mix of things at 3-3. So we've seen the first round. Let's see the second. We all made our predictions for these 4 divisional matchups. And we are going to start again in the AFC with what should be a really, really fun Texans-Ravens game. Me and M-Dog, after having gotten the Texans game wrong last week, have flipped the script and believe that C.J. Stroud will lead Houston to a victory over top-seeded Baltimore. But Big Daddy, Candyman, and Wi-Fi have seen what this Ravens team has done all year and think they'll be the ones to move through to the championship game. Second AFC matchup, and this is a rematch of one of the greatest games I've ever seen. We all remember the 13 seconds game, you know, the controversial overtime finish from a few years ago. Chiefs, Bills. It's me and Candyman who have Kansas City coming out on top. You know, they won the first game. Why wouldn't they win the second? But as you may recall, Buffalo did come out on top in the regular season. Big Daddy, Wi-Fi, and M-Dog think that Buffalo will make it 2-0 against KC this year. That is a game that everyone in the nation will be watching, and that should live up to all the hype. I could not be more excited. That's it for the AFC. We got 2 more games left to pick, and we are going to start in Green Bay, or in San Francisco, rather. They're the home team, and they're also who Big Daddy, Candyman, Wi-Fi, and M-Dog all have winning. Look, I can't deny it. San Fran has been incredible this year. But you look at this Green Bay team. Jordan Love, over the past 11-ish weeks, has arguably been the best QB in football. You know, all I'm saying, we saw Aaron Rodgers go on a Super Bowl run one of his first years playing. Why can't Jordan Love do it too? This man is dialed in. Meanwhile, we saw the 4-interception game from Brock Purdy. If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'd, try and make this game about McCaffrey, try not to make Purdy do a lot, but really, I think that Green Bay will come out on top, and I'm very excited to potentially see an upset there. Our final divisional round matchup, Detroit, one of the hottest teams in the league right now, going up against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. Again, I am the only one picking the upset here. I've got Tampa. My other 4 analysts all think that Detroit will make it to their first NFC championship game in over 30 years. Look, they're a really fun story. They're a really good team. But you look at Tampa. First of all, Tampa has so many of the same pieces from that Super Bowl team a couple years ago. Second of all, Baker Mayfield always wakes up feeling dangerous. He is such a good story. He should be the comeback player of the year in my eyes. And I think that he'll get his team to the conference championship. Again, all 4 of these matchups I could really see going either way. I think we have some incredible games on tap. Now, look, we all said the same thing about the wild card matchups. Unfortunately, we had 5 really boring games and only 1 that lived up to the hype. Let's hope the NFL gods give us some redemption in this round. That'll do it for our show today. Again, I'm Team Money filling in next week. They'll be back in the studio, and they will be picking the conference championship matchups. Look, we're in the home stretch of the football season. Could not be more excited.